Hello everyone, my name is Mary, alias The Mary Wool on social medias like Instagram, Ravelry and YouTube. But if you're here, you probably already know that. I'm a knitter. I like knitting garments and accessories. I run a blog on knitting available in French. And I also run my Instagram, The Mary Wool, where I try to post daily about knitting, reading. I make content mostly in French, but I try to make it more and more available in English, as most people don't speak French, and it's a quite difficult language to understand. And the knitting world is very much turned to English and to the international community. So it was really important for me to create content available to most people, and particularly in English, as I have English-speaking followers and friends. I'm thinking about, for example, Vanessa, whom I have test knitting for one time, and also to Annie, who is one of my Finnish friend, who's also a knitter. Hello Annie. Annie made the sweetest thing. She watched my French speaking podcast, and it was the sweetest thing ever, because she doesn't speak French, I don't speak Finnish, we just talk in English, and she listened to my podcast and she said she enjoyed my voice, and I was so moved. It was the sweetest thing. So thank you, Annie. I made this podcast very early in English. I used to think to myself, I'm going to make eventually an English podcast as well as a French one, but I made this one very early because mostly because of her. So I say hello to her, and I hope she will appreciate this podcast, because it's for you, Annie. Today I'm going to show you 4 projects, 2 finished objects and 2 unfinished objects. So let's begin. As I've told you, I'm French. My first language is French, and I've learned English at school and by reading a lot. So my pronunciation may not be the best. I may sometimes stumble upon my words, and sometimes stop because I'm looking for a specific word or for another way to say what I'm thinking about. So bear with me. There are gonna be mistakes along the way. I'm just jumping in the train, and I hope everything will go alright. So I have. Let's begin by one finished object, and if you follow me on Instagram, and it would really please me if you do. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw the picture I posted yesterday, which is a picture of the Summer Priestess top. So it's a strapless, sleeveless top knitted seamlessly in the round. I've test knitted it for Michael Shawn, who's the designer behind this pattern, and it was the first time I test knitted for him, or for a man who creates knitting patterns for women, at least. So sorry, I said a word in French. It's you know, the word like that you make to fill the void when you don't know what to do. So I will try to not do that too much. So it's knitted kind of top down. It's a particular form, so it's also a particular construction. So, but I'm going to walk you through that. For the yarn I've used like 2 skeins, not 2 skeins, but like one and a bit of the second one. 2 skeins of merino singles from Life in the Long Grass, colorway Wolf. So it's a white base, like undyed natural, but with speckle of gray, of bluish gray. I really like this color, with a bit of yellow too. And the first skin was less variegated, had less speckle, so I used that one mostly for the beginning, and the more speckled one for the rest. And I think it's make like a good transition, so I really like how it turned out. So I made the size C, so it's 34 inches, or no, yes, 34 inches, which is also 86 centimeters. I'm French, so I speak in metric centimeters, but the pattern only speaks in inches, so I had to... thankfully my ruler have centimeters and inches, so I didn't have to convert every time to as I was reading through the instructions, so that was a relief. The pattern has a negative ease of 6 to 8 inches of negative ease. Normally I'm 100 centimeter bust circumference, or 39 inches, and I knitted 34 inches, so it makes 7 inches of negative ease. The pattern is intended with I've already said that, so the pattern, it is intended to be quite tight around your bust and around your chest, because there's no straps, there's almost no sleeve. This doesn't really count as a sleeve. So the only thing that is going to hold it onto you is the fact that it's quite tight on you. But it's intended to be, well, Michael used US 7 or 5 millimeters, I think. So he used US 7, and I don't know how many millimeters it is. And I made several swatches. If you don't know me, you know how to say that politely, I'm not very good friends with gauges on swatches, because I made one time a sweater, and I made 11 swatches to get the correct gauge. So this one needs 2 right at the beginning, because you need one in stockinette and one in the texture, because it tightens a lot. So I made several, and I got the correct gauge with the US 10 or 6 millimeters. So it was 3 size more than Michael, but the gauge was good, so I thought, okay, go with it, it's gonna be fine. Before blocking, it was fine, it was really nice, I loved wearing it, it was so flattering, so luxurious on the skin. The mohair I used, it's a mohair from a yarn company, very cheap in France, called Lang. So I've used Lang lace, which is a mohair with a bit of silk, really basic, doesn't scratch at all. I'm quite sensitive, it doesn't scratch at all. And it was very flattering, very luxurious. There's several, you've got several fabrics on top of each other, so it felt really good on the skin. And you can, but it's must be not better to do so. It's maybe better to not wear a bra with it, and it was really good on the skin. But after blocking, it turned out too big. So I'm still quite a beginner at knitting. Well, not quite a beginner, but I've been knitting for 4 years, and for a good time I tried to make garments at the beginning, like everyone, but the garments turned out too big, too loose, sometimes scratchy yarn. So I discovered that I did not like mohair, and for a good time, for a long time I didn't knit mohair because I thought it's too itchy, your skin doesn't, my skin doesn't support it, doesn't stand with it, sorry. So you can't knit mohair, and I was quite disappointed because there's quite a lot of good patterns with mohair out there. So I thought it was a pity to not be able to knit it, because you can always knit it in decay, but it's not the same result. So, but there are somewhere that are not itchy at all, and this one is one of them. And but for a long period of time, so as I was always disappointed with my garments, I stopped making knitted garments, and I thought to myself, well, you can knit garments, you don't like them, maybe you don't like the feel or the look of stitches on the garments, because I don't know. So I considered stopping knitting for a while, or just knitting accessories, and I did for a while, only knitting accessories. But I'm so glad I didn't stop, because I now have several garments that I wear, but this one turned too big. As I was making the photographies with one of my friends, who's a photographer, when I took the picture, I felt like it was always going to slip, and I didn't have a bra. I was in a public park, so I didn't want to get the police call on me. So yes, it turned out too big. It's not Michael at all. My gauge was strange. I thought to myself, well, it's just one fingering and one mohair knitted with US 10. Something was wrong. Well, it's a summer top. It's meant to be quite not loosely fitting, but a loose feel. And as it is a single, so the fingering yarn has not been twisted, so it makes the garment feel like that, but that's what it's intended for. So I thought the gauge was strange, but it was good, so I thought, okay, this is how it's going to be. But well, if you want to knit it, you've got to have quite a lot of negative is. Well, don't hesitate, because if it has a positive is, like a sweater, is really not going to be wearable. I don't think I will be able to wear it, but I vow, I don't know how to say that, and I don't know how to say that now ever. Well, something, a strange stretchy thing, I'm going to maybe weave it inside this folded brim and sew it, I don't know, to make it fit across my chest. So maybe I will do that, but I didn't quite find the time to do this. So the construction. You cast in the needed number of stitches for your size. I knitted size C, and you can actually see the cast on, but it's there under this folded brim. You knit 8 inches or 20 centimeters of fabric, and you've got like a body if you're walking bottom up. So, and when you've got that, you've got your live stitches on your circular needles, and you've got your live stitches waiting to be knitted on your left needle, and you've got under that 8 inches or 20 centimeters under those live stitches. You've got your cast on edge. So you're going to bring your cast on edge, and your first stitch waiting to be knit, you're gonna go find the first stitch of that exact same row that you're gonna pull up here on your left needle, and you're gonna knit together your live stitch and the corresponding cast on stitch that you're gonna knit together. And this is how you tie together your the Summer Priestess top folded brim. Then, well, you're there, and you flip your work. So it's quite there's no better way to explain it than the way Michael did it, but it's not really very easy to understand. So I've made an article in English on my website. It's themerrywool.wordpress.com. It's in French, but this one article is in English, has to be read by most people that are going to knit the garment. And as the pattern garment, the Summer Priestess top garment pattern is only available in English, I made the tutorial in English as to be read by most people. And I explain with lots of pictures that I took while doing it. I explain how to flip the work with lots of tutors, and I take you by the hand, step by step, on how to do it. So once that you flip your work, you keep on. You've got a few rows of stockinette, and then you've got bit of ribbing, and you've got like this stitches that are like anchors. It's to tie. Well, when you're just knitting, you've got your folded brim and you knit like this. If you want the folded brim to be like this, you've gotta anchor the fabric that you're knitting with the folded brim. So that's why you've got those anchors. Don't hesitate to twist them to make them tighter, because it's going to extend a lot. So I made sometimes 2 twists to make it really tight. And after I finished the wool top, I went back there, and with a crochet I pull on it to make this, to take a bit of fabric, take a bit of thread on these anchors and to put it on the stitches, and it did a lot good on the fit. So don't hesitate to do that ever after you finish knitting your Summer Priestess top. Then you've got, once you made those anchors, you've got a bit of ribbing. You've got a bit of stockinette, and then you've got this texture. It's a honeycomb texture. It tightens a lot, so when you swatch before casting on, you make 2 swatch. You make a stockinette swatch and a texture swatch, because it tightens a lot. You've got increases rows, and at the end you've got a decreasing row. So the fabric tightens a lot. I have much more stitches on this textures section than on the others, but as you see, it's the same. It's the same width. That's hard to say for me, width. So on this point, the gauge didn't betray me. So I'm not going to thank him. That's a lot to say, but well, dear Gage, you didn't do everything wrong, at least. So then you've got a bit of stockinette, but really not a lot, as it is very cropped, and you made a good portion with the folded brim and the texture sections. So a bit of stockinette and then a good portion of ribbing here. So it was a quick knit. I knitted it in a month, and that may seem like a lot, but I was working like 10 hours a day at that moment, and I knit kind of slowly. I take a long time to knit a garment, as you're going to see with the next project I'm going to show you. But yeah, so it was challenging. I found it kind of hard, and well, not hard, but as it was a test too. So some things were not very clear at the beginning, but with the other testers understood it completely, so it may be my fault. It certainly is my fault because I've never knitted something like this, so it was kind of a new land for me. But yeah, it's pretty much, well, it's not like color work. It's not as hard as color work. So once you, well, I just made a lot of stupid mistakes, and it's not hard because the only thing is that I'm disappointed because my gauge didn't went well, and now the top is not really as it is thought to. It's not the fit. Because my gauge was wrong, I didn't get the fit that Michael had in mind for this top. So it's my gauge fault, not mine. So yeah, but with the stretchy thing that I'm maybe going to put into this, maybe it's going to, well, either way, it's not a top that you wear every day to go like to work or to college, university, like I do, or wear in front of your whole conservative family if you have one. But maybe for like a date night for something, or a friend that a girlfriend date night. It could be a nice garment to wear. So I'm going to think about that stretchy options, and maybe I will be able to wear it like sometimes, not every day, but sometimes when I want to be kind of like fancy. And well, so, but it feels so luxurious on the skin, like seriously. It's a boost of confidence, both create crafting way because I challenged myself, and also for my confidence because for a long time I struggled a lot with my self-confidence. So I didn't think 3 or 4 years ago that I would one day wear knits like this, and I worn it in public to get the photograph in the park with my friend who's a photographer, Maeve, and she took like sublime pictures, and I really love them. And normally you can see them on my Instagram, and I hope you will consider subscribing on my Instagram. I try to post every day. It's a resolution I took. Not too long, but for now I stand with it. So you're gonna see more of the Summer Priestess on my Instagram if you're curious about this one. And also, if you've got any question, feel free to make a comment under this video, but also to message me on Ravelry or on Instagram. I will be much more reactive on Instagram, but you can find me on Ravelry. You will find me on the test knitters for the Summer Priestess top. So when you're on the Summer Priestess Ravelry page, you go to projects, and I will be on the first one, and it's gonna be a test Summer Priestess top, the Mary Wool, and you'll be able to make a comment. You'll be able to like maybe save it to your favorites to find it later. I will try to make a good description in English for that. And you could DM me. I don't really know what happened, but the camera shut down. I don't know what it. I don't really know. Maybe my phone is full with I filmed the French podcast earlier, so maybe the phone is full. I talk quite a lot, and I will continue to do so because this is how we liked our podcast, isn't it? So feel free to DM me on the Summer Priestess top on Ravelry or Instagram or in the comments, and I will do my best to try and answer to all your questions. I hope you will enjoy this pattern. I don't know, I filmed this in advance, so I don't know if Michael has a sale going on. I will probably put it somewhere around my head. And well, try and grab your Summer Priestess top pattern and go with it, because all women are Summer Priestess, isn't it? I agree. Sorry, my English is so bad. I struggle a lot with my French podcast because I confused words a lot, and it was kind of terrible. So my second finished object, it's also a garment, and this time it's a cardigan. Well, I'm going to wear it, it's much more simpler this way. I won it earlier, so it's not twisted, I'm putting it twisted. So, it's the Trescao Cardigan, made by my favorite design, by my favorite designer, who is Along Avec Anna. She's a French designer and my favorite one. She's from the same French region as me, so maybe that's why I connect with her so much. And I really love a garment. Patterns are like very beautiful staple piece to have in your wardrobe, like really kind of like basic, but so well thought and so well designed and so beautiful that you can't call them basic, but they kind of are like necessary items that you have to need at one point. So the yarn is from also a French, is from a French indie dyer, who's yarn by Simon. It's one finger fingering and one thread of fingering and one thread of mohair. So it's a Merinos superwash and mohair and a kid silk mohair. So I'm going to, no, I've got things to show you, so I'm still gonna wear it, but try to talk a bit quicker. So the colorway is burgundy, like deep burgundy, and that really was what I was aiming for. Like on the pictures, I got the same yarn as Anna did, but on the pictures, on her pictures, the colorway kind of like red, but this color is just so hard to capture that it sometimes turns red when you photograph it. I had this problem for some of my Instagram posts as well, so it's very complicated. That's why I hesitated to take the same yarn as her, because I felt like I don't want it red, I want it burgundy. That's not the same thing, but it turned really good. It fits me. Applause, please. This doesn't happen that often. So it fits me. I made size 105 centimeters to fit my 100 centimeters bust. I make in inches, it's 39 inches. So I'm gonna see. How much is it in inches? So I'm at the 31.5 size. Hold up, all Anna's patterns are available in English, as she's totally bilingual. She lives in Exeter, England. Her husband is English as well, and she speaks oh, something's, no, I thought something was beeping. So she speaks perfectly English, so all her patterns are available and written by her in English. So don't hesitate to go and take a look on her Instagram, on her Ravelry, because I really love her work. And well, I really think we all should make all of her patterns, because everything is just so beautiful. So it's knitted top down. Well, normally you've got it's garter stitch needles, but I made it ribbing because I don't really like garter stitch. It's quite a long band of garter stitch as well for the caul. I don't know if that's the right word. And for the we've got also for the buttons, a small band for the buttons in garter stitch, but that I made in ribbing. So it's knitted top down. You've got like raglans with some yarn overs and increases to make it to shape the yoke. Well, it's not a yoke construction, it's a raglan, but and you've got those on each side also well, oh, you can see it better there. You've got those two lines. She also made a free pattern of the sweater version of this cardigan. So she made the sweater pattern first and then the cardigan. The cardigan you've got to buy it, but the pattern for the sweater is free. So if you want to try and make the sweater, it's free. So well, it is top down. Then you don't make the garter stitch band. You pick up the stitch when you're finished. So, and you knit them top. You've got you've got a few short rows to make it a bit dropped, to make it longer behind that it is on the side. It's a cropped length, but you can make it longer if you wish so. And when you finish, you pick up the stitches there, and you've got 6 buttons because it's cropped. Well, you probably need more if you want to make it longer. So I picked a few buttons, not from a particular brand. It's just buttons that are kind of like shift through the light. So I thought it was quite nice, and it will fit the burgundy color and not well fit, and not took the attention away from the color, which I really love. So I'm going to take it out because it's quite hot here in France right now. So what to say more about it? I didn't have any struggle with the gauge or the pattern. The pattern is really easy. It's really one of her basic pieces. She got more complicated one with like lace and color work. She loves color work a lot. So yes. Well, don't hesitate to take a look at her Ravelry designer page because I really love all that she do. Oh yes, I got a way to show you that. I thought that my ribbing adjustment is not quite long enough because it sometimes drops like this. It doesn't really fit. It doesn't really stay like this. It slips. And at the back, I feel like there's not enough fabric. I made short rows in the back to take it, but it doesn't feel exactly right. But I wear it a lot closed, and I think it's so. My phone shut down again because I don't have enough storage for the video, so I'm really gonna make it quick. So as I was saying, I feel like there's not enough fabric on this. I made short rows, but maybe it was not enough. I don't know if it's my adjustment or it's a problem from the pattern, or maybe it's not a problem, or it's just my top that is kind of too slippery for it to be seated like it should be. But well, I wear it a lot. It's really not a problem. So don't let it stop you if it does. So I'm going to show you 2 of my whips. So the first one is from a French designer. The pattern is sadly not available in French. Not available in English, it's only available in French, and she doesn't translate pattern like Anna does. So I'm going to be very quick about it. It's a cropped sweater, worked bottom up. It's got a cable patterns. I love cropped garments. It saves you yarn, time, and I think it's quite flattering when you've got a little bit of belly like I do. And I like to put the feathers on my waist to make me feel slimmer. Not that being more gifted in curves, let's say, is a problem. It's just that I struggle with my body, and I've been for a long time. Well, you've got a panel of cables, you've got a reverse stockinette, you've got some cables on the side, it's drop shoulders. You work in the round for sometimes when you separate the front and the back, on the front you keep on working the cables, and then you shape the cowl by binding off some of the stitches by binding off the stitches of the panel. Then you keep on one side, and you've got decreases on the side and short rows on the other side. You make the same thing on the other side, then you're done. You put the stitches on hold. I'm currently on the back. It's just plain stockinette, so I like to read while doing it. And the yarn is DK. I knit it in 4mm, and it's from a French brand called L'Enamouré. And the lane is made with yak. This is why the color is like this burgundy, but not the same burgundy as earlier. It's quite well, you know how yak is. It has this gray undertone on every color. So this red colorway, as it is usually on this brand, is really not. It's really doesn't show the same way with this yak yarn. It's called Flora Decay, and you can find it on the L'Enamouré website. All links are in the description if you want to take and grab some skein of this yarn. The indie dyer Pauline makes. Well, you can order, and she will dye it for you and send it to you. So, well, don't hesitate to go on her shop. It's a blend of 60% of merinos, 20% of yak, 20% of silk, and the yarn is very round, and it forgives a lot because as I was doing, I thought I do with this stockinette while reading. Sometimes instead of while I was not looking, sometimes I didn't knit through the live stitch, but on the stitch under it, and so it was kind of like I was making like fake brioche. But when I realized that, I had quite a few mistakes, a lot. I unknit everything for like 7 centimeters sometimes, and I re-knitted everything with a crochet, and it doesn't show at all. It's very, very regular. It's really a really good yarn. I love it. I'm really not disappointed, and a range of colors are just so beautiful that you really should go and take a look on a webshop called L'Enamouré. The link will be in below because I know that French is so hard to understand and that I speak really quickly, so it's not the easiest thing to communicate. Well, I try my best. I hope that as for now you're not disappointed. Well, if you're still here, it means that you're not, so thank you. And congrats to me for making it. So yeah, I will not speak more of this pattern because it's not available in English, and well, if you love it, you're probably not going to be able to knit it. Well, I'm going to speak a bit more of the second one, who is in English, and I'm taking a look on the timer because I'm now very stressed. It's going to be hell to edit this video. So the second pattern is from a Danish designer that I really love. Her name is Laerk, alias Fibertales, and this is her Favo Sweater. So I struggled a lot for the French podcast to showing this because the color is just so dark that it's really hard to show you. The Favo Sweater is a cropped sweater worked flat. You work the front, the back, and the sleeves in the round, and then you just sew everything together with I don't know what it's called. So you've got first I'm currently on the front. You work first this, I don't know if you're able to see it, well, a bit. It's not brioche, it's a honeycomb texture stitch, and you just it's not brioche, it's knitted on 2 rows, and then you alternate them to make it them like not aligned but kind of like spaced. Then you've got like a small cable that is made without a cable needle. It's really smart, and I really like how it turns out. You've got bubbles. I like bubbles. I know most don't, but I really like bubbles. Not too much, but this one is quite a lot. Like every 5 centimeters for the whole length. So it's quite a lot, I think. Oh, you kind of see it. When you've got a long stitch there that I made on 3 stitch, you've got this big cable, and then it's the reverse in mirror. You've got the long stitch, the bubble, the small cable, and then the texture stitch. Sorry. I've learned about this designer and this design from the Yarn Flakes podcast, available in French and English, like I do, well, like I hope to do and continue to do so. Audrey made test knitted this sweater for Laerk, and I fell in love with her version, which is in green, dark, kind of pine color. I loved it, and as my favorite color is blue, I thought to myself, you gotta make it in navy blue. I did it. It took me quite a long time to find the correct yarn, because it's knitted with a strand of mohair and a strand of worsted to make it worsted weight. But I didn't find any worsted weight with the color I had in mind, so I took 2 strands of fingering and 1 straight thread of mohair from the same brand, Photogray. It's from I think it's from a Nordic country. It may be Danish too. Maybe the yarn and the pattern are Danish. So it's the fingering weight is called Arweta from Photogray, and the mohair weight is called Tilia, and it's, I don't know the color, I think it's 145, and 145, as English speaking person say. And well, it's a quite a cheap yarn, so it's when I needed to buy quite a lot of not skins, but you see what I mean. I had to buy it quite a lot, because for me it's a 3 threads project, and sometimes when you're making mistakes on your cables, you regret to have 3 threads. So I'm totally in love with the textures. I love this panel. I can't stop making it. I can't read while making this, because I have to look a lot what I'm doing. So I turn back to my first love, which are knitting podcasts and TV show series. I'm about to start watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love the Winter Soldier. It's my favorite character from Marvel, so I'm quite impatient to start tonight. But I work a lot, even while on vacation, so I couldn't have the time for now. So, well, my one worry is that the color, as you saw, is maybe not the best to put the light on the panel of textures and cables and bubbles, because it's quite dark, but I think it's more seeable in real life than it is on the video. But for the process, it's a pleasure. I literally on cloud 9. I can't stop doing this, and I thought I would have been worked more on my Suzette Sweater, so I brought all bring, but on the past. I struggle so much. I took with me all of my cakes of yarn, and I was like challenged myself. Okay, your goal is to finish the Suzette Sweater by the end of your vacation. So I didn't bring all the my cakes. They are not. It's not a skin made in cake, but I don't know the English word for that. So tell me in the comments. Thank you. Help me improve my English for the next episode. So I didn't took with me all of them, and I kind of regret it because I'm like halfway through my thingy, and you know the drill. Once again, my camera shut down, so I'm really gonna rush for the end of this. I'm so sorry. The next time I will not film the same day the French and the English podcast to make a bit of room on my phone. I had to delete quite a few things this time, so I will try to do this the next time. Though the last thing I wanted to talk to you about, well, two last things, is I've received a parcel from a French indie crafter. She makes some jewelry accessories for knitting, like this stitch marker with white skein foam. You've got also the sock one, which is quite cute. You've got also, like, it's not a cloud, it's actually a small white sheet, but it looks like a cloud. So cute. You've got two others. You've got like a mug with maybe tea inside, and it's written knit on it, and like a small sweet shape with you can't see that at all. It's written one more, like one more roll or one more sweet, always. And it's delivered in this little round box, and I thought they're so cute, very useful. And I wanted to show you, she also make a manual row counter that are made with those circles, and it's like, it's not gold, but it's the color of gold. Well, if you don't know how a manual stitch counter works, you've got like this small, like a progress keeper that you put on one of the 10 rings, and it's if you put it on the first one, it means 10 something. You put it on the second one, it's 20 something. On the third, 30 something, etc., etc., up until the 10th, where it means 10 something, so 100 something. And the circles are made to put the needle through. Well, you've got your progress clipper, let's say, on the third one, and you've got your needle through the second loop. So third progress on the progress clipper means it's 30, and your needle through the second loop, which it means it's 32. So I used to have like an electronic one, like like a ring that you put on the finger, and you push a button to make one more. But sometimes, well, on your small bag where you put where I'll put all my notions, sometimes it's something clicked on the button, so I don't trust the number on the screen. So it's not really useful, and you've got to recount everything. So I think this manual row counter is very clever. So you can go and grab one on a shop. I think she's having a sale right now. So it's the first time on a shop, and it's not an unusual thing, so you should consider and go grab something. And I also got a progress clipper of the shape of this same skin, but I think it's some on my Suzette, and it's all tangled on the bed, so not gonna go there. Last thing, really quick, I received a parcel from Knitting for Olive. I struggled a bit with this order because the first time I ordered Merinos and Mohair, and they didn't match up. The Mohair putty that I ordered, no, the fingering, so the merino fingering that I've ordered was white but with a blue undertone, and I wanted my garment to have like a pink undertone, so the mohair was kinda pink, as you're gonna see. It's colorway Cloud. It's white, but it has a pink undertone. It's more pink on the camera than it is in real life, but it has pink in it. So I've ordered another one from a shop in Germany, and I don't speak German. So it's natural white. So it's actually the same colorway that the designer used, and the designer is Along Avec Anna, the same one that designed the Trescao Cardigan. And it's a long cardigan in like I don't know how it's called, but it's called English ribbing, and it's made like by knitting not the live stitch but the one under it. Well, like the mistakes I made on my Suzette Sweater, but actually this time it's meant you're meant to do that. So, well, it's you hold two threads of mohair and one thread of merinos, and I think it's going to be so pretty. Well, this is the end of this podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so sorry about the hectic process. Maybe I'm going to refilm this, I don't know, because it took me 1 hour and more to do this. But it's been so hectic, and I don't know if it's gonna be really enjoyable to watch with all these cuts. But maybe I can do something while editing this video. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will be there for the next episode, that let's hope will be more simple and more agreeable to film for me and more agreeable to watch for you. I don't know, the next time I'm going to show you the garments that I've shown on my first French podcast. Well, the first and second are gonna be reversed on the two podcasts. So maybe I'm going to call this one the second episode and make the first one after. Welcome, this is me. Well, anyway, I hope you will be there, and I hope that you've enjoyed this. Like, maybe you've knitted something while watching this. I will be so glad and so happy to see what you've made while watching this video. Don't hesitate to tag me on Instagram, to message me and follow me. It will make me very happy. And well, I hope you've enjoyed, because it's been quite hard. My mouth is completely parched, and it's gonna be very difficult to edit this. I'm not eager for this. Well, I am eager to watch your comments and to see everything you would consider sending me. I will happily take it. Don't hesitate to give me advices for my English or for improvement for the video. I don't know if I will be able to show that much thing on each video, and I don't know if I will be able to upload videos like not every week, maybe not even every 2 weeks. In 2 weeks I will still be there, but I will not have that much more thing to show you. So I hope you will be there next time, and I hope I will be there next time too for this English rendezvous. So I don't know how to end things, so let's just say thank you. Have a nice evening or a nice day, a nice weekend, depending on where you're watching this video. I wish you the best and happy knitting. Bye!